Call this meeting to order.
We're going to ask if Dr. Foster would lead us in the prayer and the pledge. Ask you all to stand, please.
Lord, we come to you this evening with open hearts. We ask that, as you have reminded us in Matthew's Gospel, that even the least in the kingdom of heaven was greater than John the Baptist. The least in Mobile County being greater than those who serve the least. Those of us on this board appreciate the opportunity to serve all of the children in Mobile County, the parents, the community, and the staff members who work for the Mobile County Public School System. We ask that you bless us this evening, that you guide our actions, that you bless and guide those who are protecting our country and our community, and that this Christmas season is particularly beneficial for all of us in the county and in the Mobile County Public School System, for our employees, for the children, for the parents. These things in Christ Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We want to thank everybody for coming out this evening. This is our board meeting where we will actually vote on those items that's been brought forward from our work session. Prior to dealing with the agenda, we have a special presentation. Ms. Peak?
We have the chorus from O'Rourke Elementary School that's here with us tonight. They are a highly recognized chorus, and they're here to share Christmas spirit with us and to start the Christmas season for us. Gotta get your teacher in the picture too. Right. Yeah, okay. Right. Yes, please. Oh, well, you know, they made a tweeter out of it. Whatever that.
Well, you know, it's super big.
Yeah. Not a very good photographer, I might say, but you will be tweeted.
Call her at Super Peak.
Okay, that's right. Okay, so that first one, they were supposed to mimic some bells of Christmas, and now this one is a little bit about lights.
outstanding Christmas programs from pre-K through 12th grade. We have one clip from a Christmas program from Booth Elementary that we'd like to share with you tonight. There was a very special jolly elf at that program that we'd like for you to see. So if you'll watch carefully, you will see the star of the Booth Elementary Christmas program.
A little overgrown.
What talent we all have.
Can we entertain a motion that Dr. Foster never appear again in another part? You so moved.
You want to talk about the spirit of Christmas. There you go. What talent on this board.
He was a tall gentleman in the back that was all off beat. Everybody's going that way. You have anything else, Mr. Chief?
That's all.
That's all you need.
All right, we ask for approval of minutes from the previous meeting.
I move approval of the minutes for the meeting, regular board meeting of 11/15/2013.
Second.
Moving proper second to approve the minutes from the previous meeting. Any question on readiness? All in favor, vote by sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carry. We have a motion to adopt agenda.
Move approval.
Second.
Moving proper second that we approve the agenda. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carry. Are there any announcements? Mr. Sheffield? Mr. Stringfellow?
No,
He's
sir.
on my mind.
No, sir. No.
You don't have anything? Okay. Ms. Robeson?
Williamson will have their winter concert. I believe it's going to be tomorrow on the 19th. So we ask that everyone attend that or that people attend if they're so inclined.
Yes. Dr. Foster?
I have no announcements.
Okay, we'll now hear the citizen request. Delegation permitted to address the board at all regular board meetings. No delegation be permitted during special meetings unless the board votes to suspend the rules to allow delegations. A person who desires to appear before the board in an official meeting as an individual citizen or as a duly authorized representative of a group of citizens or parents in Mobile County shall be afforded the opportunity of doing so by complying with the terms and provision as outlined in Mobile County Public School System Public Participation Policy. The delegate should be allowed a maximum of 5 uninterrupted minutes to make his or her presentation. The delegate shall present his or her views, concerns, suggestions, and recommendations in an objective manner, free of profanity and obscenity. The character, reputation, or good name of an individual should not be discussed in an open board meeting. Public participation policy, the board approved June 22nd, 1974, revised September 12th, 1990. I have the delegate registration here. Mr. Jesse McDaniel, AEA.
Thank you, Dr. Crenshaw. First of all, it's always a pleasure to be with you. And I do have a couple things that I wanted to go over, but I wanted to especially say welcome to Ms. Roberson. Look forward to working with you as the newest addition to the board. I spoke with Brian Hack at Human Resources just a moment ago about one of the issues I was going to talk about, but I did want to remind the board about the need to revisit the salary schedule. As it was stated 2 months ago, that we would do that. There are numerous areas that need to be looked at, and so I understand that those hearings are going to be coming up in the new year, hopefully in a couple of months, according to what I was told. So look forward to working with the board on that as usual. I know we're all looking forward to Christmas, and I certainly know that I am, but wanted to take a moment to talk about our teachers, because I know that our teachers are especially looking forward to Christmas due to numerous circumstances that have come to my attention that I felt compelled to bring to the board. Our teachers are basically overloaded. I want you guys, ladies and gentlemen, to know that. Their jobs are inherently difficult already in what they do every day, but they also have to deal with changing curriculum and the stress that brings, and also a lack of resources for basic things that they need in their daily work. They're also under attack from the state level, as you all know, from the legislature, on attacks on their tenure, their pay, and classroom funding. But I would be remiss if I didn't stand up tonight and tell you that the team visits going to every school in the district are questionable in their effectiveness. It's been described to me as a song and dance that's being put on. Some of the teachers that have called me are questioning the effectiveness because it's not a random or spontaneous visit, but they're well planned out, and so they have to rush and plan every little detail in the preparation for these visits. But when the visit is through, things go back to normal. And so I question the effectiveness of doing these team visits to every school in the county, as well as I question the effectiveness of putting every teacher on full evaluation this year. I'm not sure if you all know that that's taking place, but it is. And that has done a lot to damage the morale of people who were evaluated last year, who aren't due to be evaluated for another 2 years, or whatever the case may be. But now everybody's being put on full evaluation again this year for some strange reason. I just want you to know, I can't in good conscience sit down and not say something about that on behalf of our teachers, because it is badly damaging the morale. And furthermore, a lot of Christmas programs going on right now. A lot of people that I'm hearing from in the county are having their planning times taken away to get ready for Christmas programs. They're not being allowed to volunteer for these things, and they're being told, if you don't work through your planning time, then you got to stay after school every day. And then also with these team visits, that people are being told they have to work through their planning time in order to get paperwork done. It's just it's really a mess. And my request is that you would that the administration and the school board consider what these things do to the morale of your teachers in the classroom, and consider how it affects their daily life when you hand down these edicts from the central office, because it's not productive in every case, and your teachers are really stressed out and overloaded. And so I would just ask that you be mindful of that. And also, I have submitted a grievance on behalf of an employee February the 21st of this year, and it has still not been heard at the level 4 stage. I submitted this to the superintendent's office on August the 28th, and it hasn't moved since then. So my request is that grievance also be heard. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Tom Loper of the Gartner firm.
I second that. I look forward to working with you, Ms. Roberson, on the board in the future, hopefully in a positive manner. I'm here to speak on behalf of a tenured teacher who is been recommended for a 20-day unpaid suspension. I think that all of you have had an opportunity to read a response that I submitted on behalf of this teacher that addresses each one of the allegations brought against her. I hope that you take that under consideration, as well as the brief comments that I would like to make tonight. The first one of these points that I want to highlight is that this teacher that has been proposed for a suspension has been a good teacher in the system. She's been there for 14 years. She's worked at a few different schools. She's been at her current school for 9 years, and this is the first formal discipline in the form of a suspension or any form of administrative leave that she has faced. On top of that, she was distinguished in a career prior to becoming an educator. She entered the education field late in life. She was an engineer before coming back to returning to the classroom in a teaching capacity. You certainly have to understand the sacrifice that she took from going from a profession such as engineering that historically leads in the rate of pay to teachers who we all know are underpaid. So there's something to be said for that. She's dedicated her life to teaching and to working and improving the lives of these students and obviously improving their test scores, because we all know that's what's important. The second point that I want to bring up is that you've seen the recommendation for suspension from Superintendent Peak. And when you look at it, it looks rather lengthy. But when you get down there and parse it, there's a lot of duplication in there. You'll see the same allegation might be portrayed 3 or 4 different times based on a memo in one way and then an email response to another and then a response to that email. So it ends up looking like several different allegations where in fact it's one, and usually it's a questionable allegation at best. So I want you to look at each one of those, and I hope you have had an opportunity to look at each one of those and really parse through it to determine if it's valid, if there's any truth behind it, if there is truth behind it, if it's sufficient enough to rise to the level of suspension. The third point I want to make is that she has repeatedly been referred to as being insubordinate or hostile, yet I see no record of her really being instructed as to how it's viewed as insubordinate or how it's viewed as hostile. When I looked through it, I saw what looked like constructive recommendations to improve the school, and from some of the responses I saw from the administration at the school, it was not necessarily perceived that way. I think that the principal at the school perceived it as maybe questioning his authority, and I certainly don't see any evidence that she was questioning his authority. I think she was trying to make the school a better place. It's obvious that she cares about the students. You can see that by the energy that she put into her responses. And the fourth and final point that I want to make is she's done everything by the book. When I looked through the emails and the memos, one thing that really stood out to me is that a lot of the issues were raised when things were changed at the last minute or when she was asked to be flexible. Well, when you're looking at guidelines or procedures that are in place and you're asked to be flexible on those, when the flip side is you can be terminated or suspended for not following those guidelines or procedure, there's certainly something questionable in later discipline than whenever they are told to be flexible. So I just want you to take all of that into consideration when you review the recommendation from Ms. Peak for this person's suspension. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. Mr. Bain Nissett?
Thank you, I appreciate this opportunity. We're requesting an extension on the north end of the Palestine Road. Could I give you these?
Yes.
Thank you.
If you'll, the Google is very vague, but the county currently maintains 3,000 foot of, excuse me, dirt road to the end of Palestine Road, and 300, if you look at the colored drawing, the 300 feet of an extension there would get to the corner of the property. Currently, right now, the first thing that we look at is the safety issue aspect of it. So from the current route marked in orange, we're looking at a 35-minute ride to the hospital is preferred. If we go preferred route, it's only 21 minutes. There's the difference in from the distance to the fire stations, it's like 7 miles from the one in Wilmer to 1.5 to the one at the Tanner Williams Fire Station. And all we need is 330 foot. The last page is the right-of-way deed for a public road after speaking with the county and Mr. Richard Christ over there. In consideration, if we could get the right-of-way, I will build the road to the county specifications, and I believe the county will accept that. And the right-of-way has been engineered by Poly Surveying, and the road will be built to the requirements of Mobile County. It's only 330 foot. The legal description, it takes approximately 0.5 of an acre. So that's our request from Big K Leasing.
Okay, Mr. Nelson, we'll turn this over to the superintendent and have her to act accordingly on it.
All right, thank
Ms.
you very
Speaker, will
much.
you take care of this. Angela Gordreen Goodrum, School Board Property.
Dr. Foster, we always knew that you had a special heart for children. Now we got proof. Very good. I come today to.
Can you speak in the mic?
Sorry. I've came today to speak to you about some safety concerns and responsibility concerns with regards to the school board property located in our area. And it will take some time, so if I could ask to speak with y'all after this meeting, so y'all can go ahead and do what you need to do.
Okay, where's the property?
Let's see, it's Grand Farms subdivision, and it's off of Old Pascagoula Road, about 1 mile from the Mississippi state line.
Okay. Have you had a chance to talk with the superintendent?
Yes, I have spoke to her Monday. This is something that's been going on since 2010, and I've been trying to deal with it with Mr. Sheffield, and Dr. Foster is aware of some of the issues, but recently we've had some. There's been other times it's been life-threatening. This is another instance that happened Sunday, and I had to step up and be a good neighbor, but it also put me in a hot seat with my other neighbors because I couldn't wait for the legal authorities to take care of it. It was people shooting into the land where there was a deer hunter in the woods, and they were shooting rifles and pistols out there. So I had to upset my neighbors to tell them to quit shooting rather than wait for the sheriff's department to come out to tell us there wasn't nothing they can do because the land didn't mark no trespassing. It's a bunch of issues there.
What legally can we, after the meeting, can we go in, cannot?
You could, I could sit here.
Okay.
What we need to, what I understand we need to do is work with our lands division with no trespassing and see what we need to address. It's leased land. We own the land, but it's leased land that we've leased for hunting. And then there are people in the neighborhood, I think, who are going on the land and doing target practice and
Planting drugs, making drugs.
guns and all. So I think primarily what we've talked about is working to see what we need to do about putting up no trespassing signs. Need to work with Chris Aldred on it and
Because I'm
Mr. Sheffield.
Yeah.
The-
I was trying to see the purpose of having, the meeting with the board to,
Because there's so many issues, we need a fire break between the residents and the school board land. There has been a fire out there. We had to wait for the Forestry Commission to bring their trucks out because the school board is saying that they don't have any responsibility to help maintain the road, that they have a non-exclusive right-of-way easement, not right-of-way, have an easement on Grand Farms Road West. That's the only road legally that they have, that is documented for the school board to use. But yet, when they came out there to make the roads in the school board property before they leased it to the deer hunters, which the intention was to try to make a road to go across the creek, which people understand you really can't do that. And when I made a fuss about them using our roads to bring bulldozers and backhoes in there, they pulled out. One of the deer hunters bought property on the other side of the land, from the Mississippi side, but it's still Alabama property. They purchased that land to access the leased area so they could not have to deal with me and our community and the responsibility to fix and repair the road that they have already used to bring this equipment in.
Dr. Crenshaw, if it's okay with the board, and we can, our forester and I can meet after the meeting. He says that he has details and information, so if that's okay, we can meet and see how we need to address it.
Okay. All right, let me say this, let me ask if you would, the two of you all would get with her and bring back a recommendation on your findings in our next work session.
We will. We'll do
And if
that
there's any-
after the meeting.
Thank you, because there's just a lot of issues, and I apologize for taking everyone's
That's okay.
time.
That's all right.
But when you're out there and someone's shooting over the heads of someone that's hunting, the answer that I got from one of the parents, I can't do anything about it. My answer to her, you tell the widower that when you're at the man's funeral because you didn't make your son quit shooting a gun. That's that serious.
All right.
Now they're,
We'll meet you right out here in the side room, and we'll talk after this meeting.
thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Merry Christmas.
Okay. Jessica Tarludy? Tedlock. Okay. Augusta Evan, parents.
Hi, good evening. This is my son, Duncan Tadlock. He attends Augusta Evans School. He has autism, is nonverbal, and he has a lot of needs behaviorally, with just everyday toileting assistance. And he attends Augusta Evans STAR program. And I am very, very grateful that Ms. Peak has told us that this issue has been resolved. Of course, we as parents would like to get it in writing. I want to tell you how important this program is. Without this program, it takes both my husband and I to work to support our family. And without this program, one of us would not be able to work. And without both of us working, we would not be able to afford a place to live or anything. So this program is extremely necessary. It's a very important thing to keep going, and I wanted to let y'all know that. We thank God for Ella Mooney every single day that she provides this program. She works with us. She's an amazing woman. She's dealt with behaviors before, has a lot of patience, but it's just so necessary for parents like us to have this. We have to work, and we don't want to not work, and he has to be taken care of. So I just wanted to let you all know that, and we'll be asking Mr. Baggett, who's the principal of Augusta Evans, for the copy of the letter that Ms. Peak gave him, so we can have that in hand. And we thank you for your attention.
Okay, we thank you for coming. We're glad the matter was resolved. Ms. Debbie Mathis?
I think Ms. Peak, and hopefully it's been shared with everyone, this is Chandler Mathis. I'm Debbie Mathis. And I'm a parent of a child attending Augusta Evans, and Chandler attends the STAR program. And as Ms. Duncan said, it's unbelievable the work that Ms. Ella Mooney and her program does. And of course, they get to stay with their teachers that also they see every day, because the upset of just a location site change is going to be very, very difficult for all of the children that attend Augusta Evans. To upset their after-school needs is devastating, and financially devastating to the families. I really feel sorry for all of the families that have been put through the stress that we've been put through because we could not get response or help or really find anybody for a long time that realized what we were saying. Miss Lily Ray, the special needs transportation person, understood it, and Miss Ella Mooney understood it, and all of the parents. It was very difficult to realize that the school board had not already previously set up bus transportation arrangements for the students when they even started planning for the school, if the school program wasn't going to be allowed. It's real people. And the program is very, very, very important to us. And from what I understand, you did respond to Mr. Baggett today. We have not gotten that written confirmation, and that's very important. We have to plan our entire lives around our children. I don't think that a lot of people really, really understand that concept, that have typical children or no children. 24/7, we have to make sure that they're in the care of the appropriately trained people and people who care for them and love them just as much as we do. And the school has been fantastic. The program has been fantastic, and I appreciate the Mayor Sandy Stimpson's office trying to come in and help assist with our getting your ears and focusing and trying to make the right decision. So if I know that you have my email address, Ms. Peak, and if you could possibly get direct correspondence to me, I will be sure that all of the parents get it so that before we go into Christmas, we can be stress-free.
I'll make sure your principal gets that out. He received a letter day before yesterday, and so we'll make sure that that goes out. It was a letter to him informing him that the program it had been resolved.
And we would just like to have assurance of that. I mean, you can understand that. It is a strategic move for all of us,
Right.
you know, all of us involved.
We'll make sure you get that.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much
coming.
for your time.
Ms. Janelle Barron.
Hi, my name is Johniel Barron. My son Jonathan Barron goes to Augusta Evans Special Needs School as well. And I want to reiterate that the STARS program is very, very important to all of us parents. When we received that letter on November 21st, it kind of just rocked our complete worlds because we didn't know what we were going to do. And we didn't understand how someone could make such a decision without putting full thought into it and how it would affect the parents and the children as well. So, Ms. Peak, thank you for getting the issue resolved, and I feel better knowing that you are going to take care of our families and our children.
It's taken care of, and you won't notice anything except you will be in a new building.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. That takes up all the individuals' requests to appear before the board.
Dr. Crenshaw, we have two recognitions that I failed to mention tonight. Ms. Marcy McNeil, we have two special recognitions.
Okay. Ms. Marcy.
Okay. If we can have Mrs. Alexander come to the front.
Oh, yeah.
The Terrell H. Bell Award, named for the former U.S. Secretary of Education, recognizes outstanding school leaders and the vital role they play in overcoming challenging circumstances. Principals nominated for this award are school leaders committed to fostering successful teaching and learning at their schools. They are principals who do whatever it takes to help their students meet high standards and are committed to the notion that in educating America's children, failure is no option. The late Secretary Terrell H. Bell held education as his highest priority, trusting that all students would find it their personal key to success as he had. And principals chosen as Bell Award recipients have transformed their schools. They have set high standards and expectations for all, including themselves. They have shattered stereotypes that students in poverty or with limited English proficiency cannot achieve at high levels. Their vision and collaborative leadership styles have produced outstanding results for all their students, regardless of race, ethnicity, or socioeconomic status. They have shown that with effective leadership and teaching and a conviction that all students can learn, schools are powerful, joyful places that generate energy in their communities. The Blue Ribbon School's Special Leadership Award in his name honors Secretary Bell's memory and celebrates school leaders across the country who realize his vision of excellent education for every student. The Mobile Board of School Commissioners is proud to recognize Ms. Hattie Alexander as being chosen for this honored award. You are to be commended for your leadership and dedication to the children and community of Council Traditional School. The fruit of your efforts will follow in the lives of your students for years to come. Congratulations. Ms. Roberson?
One of 7 principals in the nation who received this award.
Very good, very good.
Thank you, I appreciate it, and it's nice to meet you as well. Just take a minute to thank you so much for this recognition this evening. Of course, I have an awesome staff, and I have one of my staff members here, Ms. Moran, one of my kindergarten teachers is here. Please stand as support today. And we just have a fantastic staff. I have the true triangle. I have a wonderful staff, great students, and awesome parents. And of course, you know, you can't move forward in a career like this if you don't have support from home. And this evening, I would like to recognize my support system, my mother and my sister. My sister is an assistant principal at May Ings, and my mother is a retired teacher of the Mobile County Public School System. Thank you again for this honor.
And her dad is one of my former colleagues. Tell him I missed him tonight.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
That's pretty good.
We'd like to call forward Gwendolyn Bethia. Gwendolyn Bethia, professional school counselor at Mobile County Training Middle School, received the Asa Sparks New Counselor of the Year Award. The award was presented at the Alabama School Counselor Awards Luncheon during the annual Fall Alabama Counseling Association Conference in Birmingham. Ms. Bethia is in her 2nd year as the school counselor at Mobile County Training Middle School. She is an advocate for her students and provides equal access for all students to counseling services at her school. She focuses on the academic achievement, personal and social development, and career development with emphasis on assisting her students to being college and career ready at high school graduation. Ms. Bethia is committed every day to helping others by making a difference in her students' lives. The Board of School Commissioners is proud of you and your commitment to your students. We commend you for a job well done, being a shining example for all of our employees in Mobile County Public Schools. Congratulations to Mrs. Bethia as Alabama's new Counselor of the Year.
Let me just say how hard the task is where Ms. Bethia is. Mobile County Training School is in the middle of the inner city. And I don't care what anybody say, educating young people in the inner city takes more than just showing up. And for her to receive such an award this early in her career says a lot for her. And I know personally what she's dealing with there. And she's doing a tremendous job along with other faculty staff. So I'm going to congratulate you, present you with this certificate, which means Mobile County Board of School Commission certificate of recognition presented to Gwendolyn Bethia in recognition of the recent ASA Sparks New Counselor of the Year Award. signed by all the members of the board. Superintendent, congratulations, keep up good work. You can't transfer, you gotta stay. Okay, are there any other recognitions? All right, this time we will go to action items.
Before I move to the action items, I'd like to review several items that were added since the work session. We added action item G2, which is a contract with Turning Point Solutions. You'll recognize this as being a contract that we had last year with this company that provided professional development on customer service in the schools, and would like to continue that this year. The schools have expressed an interest in doing that. Action item G4, we'd ask that you approve a contract to accept funds from the Mobile County Commission that are being provided to purchase choir uniforms at BC Rain High School, $5,700, and we have to have that approved contract for the commission to donate those funds. Action item G6, we'd ask that you approve revisions to the Code of Conduct. We need to do this to meet federal and state compliance standards. And what we're asking with this item tonight is that we set 2 hearing dates, because even though it'll be a revision of this year's contract, we have to have hearings again on it. I'd ask you, and I'll come back and talk with you at the end of the meeting, if we could possibly set that for Wednesday, January, the first hearing, Wednesday, January the 15th at 5 p.m., and then Wednesday, January the 22nd at 4 p.m. for the second hearing. And we'll come back and talk about that and as you check your calendars. Action item G10 was added. It's an addendum of the contract with the district's attorney's office for helping families. There was needed to be noted in there that rather than having 4 people work on that, there will be 2 staff members providing those services, and we'd ask your approval for the second time of this contract. It was just changing the number of personnel in place. And with also action item G11 was added. This is a contract with the Alabama Best Practice Center to provide 2 professional development days programs at E.R. Dixon Elementary for $4,500 being paid out of Title II funds.
Jim, you heard those additions to the agenda. We're ready now to move to the action items.
Action item G1.
Mr. President,
Mr. Stringfellow?
I move that we approve action items G1 through G23.
Get a second?
Second.
Moving proper second that we approve action item G1 through G23. Let me just say under this that the reasons you see so many items being taken, we've already discussed these items in our council, in our work session, and spent extensive time talking through them. That's the reason why we can take such a large amount of this time. Any further questions, comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Next item, Madam Superintendent.
Action item G24, it asks that you approve the resignation of certified personnel listed under separate cover.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Move approval.
Second.
All right, move proper second that we accept items 24. Any question on any readiness? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Action item G25, it asks that you approve the suspension of a tenured certified employee.
Move approval.
Your second?
Second.
Moving proper second that we approve the recommendation. Any question on readiness? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Action item G26, we'd ask that you approve the termination of certified personnel hired for the first semester listed under separate cover.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Move approval.
A second? Moving proper second that we approve that item. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Action item G27, ask that you approve the assignment of certified personnel listed under separate cover.
Move for approval.
Second?
Second.
Moving properly approve that we approve item 27. Any questions on readiness? All in favor, vote by sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposes, motion carried.
Action item G28, ask that you approve the assignment of the principal listed under separate cover.
Move approval.
Second.
Moving properly second to approve that action item there on a separate cover. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Action item G29, ask that you approve the assignment of assistant principal listed under separate cover.
Ms. Peak, I've got pulled on that. Is that incorrect
I'm
on my
sorry, I
part?
didn't. Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, we'll pull 29, I didn't realize that.
We have no item listed on there anyway, did you guys?
No, there are no personnel listed under that one.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Next item.
Action item G30, it asks that you approve the assignment of out-of-field certified personnel.
Move for approval.
Second.
Move properly second to approve that action item. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Action item G31, ask that you approve the resignation of classified personnel listed under separate cover.
Move approval.
Second.
Moving properly second to approve action item 31. Any question on readiness? All in favor, vote by sign of aye.
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 Opposed, motion carried.
Action item G32, ask that you approve the termination of the probationary classified employee listed under separate cover.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval.
Second?
Second.
Move properly second that we approve action item 32. All in favor, vote by sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Action item G33, I will ask that you approve the assignment of classified personnel listed under separate cover.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval.
Second.
Moving properly second to approve action item 33. All in favor, vote by sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Action item H on the consent agenda, H1, ask that you approve out-of-county travel as listed.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I move for approval on action items H1 and 2.
Get a second?
Second.
Move proper second, we approve action item H1 and 2. All in favor, vote by sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Action item I would ask that you approve the recommendation for expulsions in items 1 through 10, student expulsions.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Chairman, I move for accepting student expulsions 1 through 10.
Second? Second. Move proper second that we approve action items I1 through 10. All in favor, by sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. We have for information purpose monthly financial statement, purchase orders, $5,000 or less, for information purpose. Any items for discussion? Any old business? Are there any board and superintendent requests? Any pending matters? Before we go into attorney-client privileges, let's look at the scheduling of those meetings, the 2 public hearings. Give it those dates again, Ms. Peak.
I'd like to suggest January the 15th, which is a Wednesday at 5 p.m. And looking at Wednesdays, because I believe that'll be days that you have agreed to come in for personnel hearings. And Wednesday, January the 22nd at 4 p.m.
Okay, we'll note those 2 dates and have Ms. Chambers to notify each board members as to their availability.
Dr. Crenshaw, I'd also ask, well, I will get to scheduling of meetings, though. I'm going to ask that you schedule another meeting.
Another board meeting?
A facilities committee meeting. I want to suggest a date for that.
Go ahead.
I'd like to suggest Wednesday, January the 8th at 3 p.m.
Okay.
At that time, the completion of the preliminary, or the schedule for the $100 million construction project will be ready to be discussed. Also, the architect contracts have been have been completed, and to bring those forth and discuss with you.
Okay.
Did you say the 8th?
January the 8th
You all right?
at 3 p.m. for a facilities
Okay, and-
committee meeting.
Okay, and I have shared the committee assignments with Ms. Chambers. She will issue them out at the end of this board meeting. For those individuals on the facility committee, will be able to meet again.
And Mr. Chairman, I also asked Ms. Chambers if she could send out a reminder about all those new meeting dates so that we can put them on there.
And just, I'm sorry, just one quick question. I've noted that it looks like we have a work session set up for the 22nd.
Right.
So I didn't know if we wanted to push up the time, or if 4 o'clock is the only time to have that public hearing.
Okay, the work session is at 1 that day?
Yes,
Correct.
ma'am.
If it'll work with your schedule, we could move it right after the
Well, that's what I was
work
asking.
session, if you'd like to do.
Now, let's say about 3 o'clock, so we can take a
Okay.
short break.
All
That'll
right,
be fine
great.
with me.
We all right? Okay. Is that all right with you, Dr. Foster?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. Again, we'll ask our secretary, Ms. Chambers, if she will get those dates out to us tomorrow, this week, for the break.
Thank you, Ms. Roberson. That'll work well on that.
Okay, at this time, we have attorney-client privileges. Mr. Attorney?
I sent an email to the board earlier today regarding the proposed matter. Or wish to go into executive session just as our board can vote.
Because this time, we need to go into executive session, discuss 2 personnel matters, and it contains the name and character of 2 individuals. Can I get a motion?
I move that we go into executive session at this time to discuss those matters.
Second that.
Second, we go into executive session. Any question? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.